Hi, Matt Palmer, Executive Director of Lower Thames Crossing. I'm the Highways England Executive Director for this exciting project, and I want to share with you over the next few minutes, what that project is, what we're doing on it, and why we want you to join us. So let's first start with looking at what Highways England is there to do, and then we'll focus in on the Lower Thames. So Highways England exists to create and maintain connections. We run over 4,000 miles of road that act as arteries for the country, connecting our major towns and cities, ensuring commuters go to work and help millions of us visit our families and friends. Our strategic road network is most heavily used part of the nation's roads, carrying a third of all traffic and 2/3 of all freight. It provides businesses with means to get products and services to customers, gives access to labour markets and their suppliers, and encourages trade and investment. We see over and over again the power of new connections can do, connecting communities and markets severed by physical barriers such as an estuary. Just look at the transformative and positive impact of the Severn Bridge and the Forth Road Bridge. And that is what we aim to do for Lower Thames, the most ambitious road scheme since the M25 was completed. We want to connect the Channel ports to the UK's centres of manufacturing in the Midlands and the North. We want to connect Kent to Essex to Kent, Thurrock and Gravesend. We want to connect them all across what was traditionally the Thames, which divided them. We want to connect people to jobs, houses, and to their families and friends. It's an opportunity of a generation to unlock the potential of the UK's original economic engine, the Thames Estuary. So, what is the Lower Thames Crossing? So that video gave you some imagery of the scheme and the key statistics, but it really is worth reinforcing most of those. 14.3 miles, 23 kilometres long. The road connects the A2M to the M25 in Essex. It will be the most ambitious road scheme since the M25 was completed. It will create a new connection under the Thames through the longest road tunnel in the UK, and it will be the third largest in diameter in the world. It will double the capacity of the roads to the east of London, moving about 15+ million from the Dartford crossing onto the approach roads over onto the Lower Thames crossing. and I suppose that is the last thing it does. It will provide significant resilience to the strategic road network by and providing that relief at Dartford and removing that congestion. Next slide, please. So this is a photograph of, or an image of the southern end looking north. You can see the Thames in the background, and it's the connection from the M2 A2 into the Lower Thames crossing and runs through to the north, the southern portal. Then this slide is then the many green bridges that we've got along the route, which is all about providing connections across the route. So this connects biodiversity from one side to the other, but also communities, horse riding, cycle, bikes, sorry, and pedestrian crossings as well. This image is looking south, so this is Essex looking to Kent. Just off to the right of the picture, which you can't see, is the Port of Tilbury and the historic Port of Tilbury, Tilbury Fort. The tunnel crosses underneath from Kent, passing underneath a UNESCO Ramscar area of marshland, significant for bird life, etc., and then comes up on the north side through a landfill site, which you can see straight in front of the picture, which is currently receiving the muck from Thames Tideway and Silvertown Tunnel, and then proceeds further north. And if we swing to the next slide, you can see the Lower Thames passing under the A13, and then finally on this slide it's connecting into the M25 further north in Essex. A significant scheme. So we could have done this project a number of ways. We could have set up a pop-up client, but we've decided to do it from using Highways England's expertise. Highways England's got a track record of delivering through RIS1, and in particular A14, which you'll have heard about. And we want to build on that success, but learn from and steal from pride from others, still with pride, should I say, from others. We want to do this using the best in the industry, the best infrastructure approach, but using Highways England's knowledge of the network and its legacy in terms of skills, etc. So we've achieved a lot to date, but so much more to come, and we'll talk about that later. But let's first start with consultation and people. People is the heart of any project, any program. It's delivered by people, but it's for people. And so we've spent 300 days over the last 7 years consulting on this project. It will be the most consulted on project for any road scheme in the UK. And through that consultation, we've improved and enriched the scheme. We've extended the tunnels to the south on 2 occasions, an increase of a total of 950 metres to avoid a UNESCO Ramsar marshland site, and to also ensure connectivity between 2 local villages. We've widened the road to 3 lanes based on feedback and also traffic modelling. Having it 3 lanes wide means that we'll end up with a tunnel that is 16 metres in diameter, which will be the 3rd largest in the UK. We've also spent lots of time looking at the impact in terms of visual and environmental, and we've lowered the height of the road in some locations up to 5 to 6 metres to minimise that visual impact. All from that significant consultation. Next slide, please. We've spent much time trying to understand the risk. What's the risk involved in any project? And any project like this, it's all in the ground. So we've just completed the end of an extensive 3-year ground investigation program. I've been involved in many big programs, and I've not seen a ground investigation scale and the size of this before. We've completed 10,000 tests on 1,000 locations. We've got 20 kilometres of drilling with 10 kilometres of cores stored in a warehouse, a dedicated facility, 26 boreholes in the Thames itself, which is what this picture shows. Why is this so important? It's so important that we do this project well. We do this the best of our ability. We do it by understanding the risks. And so our ground investigation is doing exactly that. It's learning where other projects have gone badly wrong and making sure we don't follow suit. So we've invested significantly in investigation. Let's talk about environmental mitigation. No large project of this scale can be said to have no impact on the environment. It is inevitable, unfortunately, and so we can't hide from that. What we must do is reduce that impact as far as possible. We've carried out 46,000 hours of ecology survey to really understand significant habitats around the Thames estuary that we impact. We've focused in on ancient woodland, as you would expect, and we've chosen a route to avoid, in many areas, ancient woodland entirely. We've managed to reduce the impact on the ancient woodland by half over the course of the design, from 23 hectares to 11. And for those 11, for every square metre of ancient woodland we have impacted, we will replant 6 metres, a significant improvement. We've also, as you saw on that first slide, significantly looked at the sort of crossing of capability of the road, and we've put in 7 green bridges, wider and larger than any before in the UK. And with the extension of the tunnel, we'd argue that we've done the most sustainable approach of road design ever carried out in the UK. Let's talk about legacy then. Legacy is a wide-ranging conversation. We want to be remembered for the impact we've had in a positive way on local jobs, local skills and local education. We have ambitious plans to learn the lessons from the A14, but also from the London Games, Crossrail, HS2, Tideway, and we'll still with pride. So stay with us on the journey and watch this space. We want to be, have the same reputation of any of the major infrastructure projects in terms of really focusing on upskilling local employment and inspiring local school kids to really get into the STEM subjects, etc. So the story so far and where are we going? So today we've just finished our most recent milestone. At the end of October, we submitted our DCO. We are now in the we're waiting for PINs to receive our application, and then shortly we'll be moving out to run through to OJU for our tunnelling contract, and we'll start the journey of getting a partner on board to come and construct the tunnel for us. That will be followed thereafter in the new year with going out to market for the roads north and south contracts. If it all runs to plan and we get consent as we predict, then we'll start on site in 2022 and we'll complete in 27-28. This is a significant program, exciting. It has all the hallmarks of being a huge success, and we're starting it off well. We are currently looking to build our team. We already have on board our technical partner, and we are out to market already for our integration partner who will come on board in the new year. We'd like anyone that is interested, that has the right capabilities and wants to build on the successes of all the other programs in the UK and bring those to bear on the largest road project in the UK, Lower Thames, we'd like you to come and join us. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to answering questions whenever you manage to get to talk to me.